A couple days ago, I made a community post where I asked my subscribers to post their hottest Naruto takes with the added specification that these takes were actual hot takes and not the usual ones such as Naruto isn't actually about hard work versus talent, which at this point isn't even really a hot take anymore. However, what I didn't expect was for y'all to blow my expectations out the water for just how bad the Naruto hot take rabbit hole can get. I say this with the most amount of love a creator can have for their community, that these are the worst Naruto hot takes I've ever seen, and since I was subjected to this level of tomfoolery, I'm forcing y'all to do the same. And a mild disclaimer, these are all just jokes and the opinions shared in this video are directed only at the take itself and not at the people who left them, so no harassing anyone in the comments. Also, I got Bubbles with me today, so sub to the both of us, or not sub to the both of us. I don't really care. Let's just get on with the video. Okay, this next one, Itachi and Sasuke should have fought Orochimaru in the war instead of Kabuto. It would have been poetic to see the Uchiha brothers take down the guy who tried to make both of them his vessel. I also was never big on the idea that Kabuto was one of the final villains. He was better as a right-hand man in my opinion. I would have preferred it being Orochimaru who allied with Obito. This is ridiculous. I have no idea why anybody would even think that they should have. Orochimaru has died twice by both of them.
Yeah, you'd have to power. I mean, they found a way to power up Kabuto a lot. So, I mean, you could write it to happen with Orochimaru, but I don't, outside of just joking that like, haha, he wears glasses still after all his like augmentations, like, I think Kabuto in the war arc is very well written. I think he actually is a good villain. And I think the fight with Itachi and Sasuke was good. Orochimaru is a great villain, but he already did a lot in the story and he played a different role in the war arc. So you'd have to overhaul other sections of the war to slot him in there, you know?
Right, and like, it feels like narrative redundancy. Like he's already, like, I think he's served his role in the plot, like, in an antagonistic like fashion, like enough. Like he was an antagonist to Sasuke and an antagonist to the Leaf, and he got taken out by Sasuke. He came back, resurrected, he got taken out by Itachi, and that realistically should have been his end, but then, you know, he got brought back with the heaven release seal, and then he was in a more wouldn't say protagonistic, but he was on the side of the good guys. So I think that was a better like change of pace than just bringing him back as like a last ditch villain, like just slapping it on. I think that would be a lot more lazy writing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Spitfire. Why is Spitfire saying this? Itachi gets folded by any two Sannin. Now,
this is a hot take for a reason.
This isn't even a hot take. This is just ridiculousness.
I mean, it's a hot take, right? But I mean, it's like a hot take to say that the coughing baby beats the hydrogen bomb, right? I mean, Itachi would literally 1v3 the peak Sannin in his 6th state. And I'm not saying that to exaggerate. None of the Sannin, none of the 3 Sannin have any answer to Itachi's genjutsu. He would literally glance at all 3 and the fight would be over.
I'm guessing, like, I'm trying to think about the mindset that you would be in to come to this conclusion, and the only thing that I'm thinking about is that maybe because Itachi beat Orochimaru, which means he's 1 Sannin level, so if you add another Sannin, like he wouldn't, he gets beat by 2
That doesn't
Sannin.
make any sense.
It makes no sense, but that's deadass the only way. I guess it could have been the Jiraiya statement where
he thinks that he's gonna like severely injure himself fighting Jiraiya or whatever.
Yeah. And it's like, okay,
I don't even think that statement's about. I think that statement's talking about Kurama. I don't. Even think
that's one of the most like misinterpreted panels. But like, I guess that would be the only thing. They'll be like, okay, he said something about they would need backup. Even if they had backup, it would still be like high diff. So then, like, if you took 1 Sannin and then you add another one, and shit, Itachi's gonna he's gonna fold. He's gonna get slammed.
Or if you just take the position I've seen a few people rep of the Sannin are stated to be like the strongest shinobi, and Rogue Ninja are still shinobi.
It makes
He made a statement so ass.
I was stun locked. I genuinely just stun locked. It's like, okay, bro, we got the Sannin over Madara, over Pain, Obito. Who else? Kaguramoto, because he started the Ninja Creed, right? So the Sannin are just like, you know what I'm saying, top
Over all of them.
just top 3 in the verse, like just straight utter premium grade poo kaka. Okay. This next one, Madara being the final villain would have been a worse ending than Kaguya as the final villain. The final villain being something completely alien rather than a human fits the themes of the story way better. Bonus one, Boruto's manga continues the themes of Naruto in new and interesting ways, and the franchise would be worse off without it. So what do you think about the first part of this hot take?
I'd have to, I guess I'd have to like need a little elaboration, because he says like fits the themes better, but I mean, fitting the themes would depend on how they concluded Madara as the final villain, right? He can be the final villain. That doesn't tell us how Madara gets wrapped up and dealt with. It's just Kaguya doesn't show up. And then Sasuke would still, you know, have his thing with Naruto after, which is their real important like send off to ship it in. That Naruto for Sasuke needs to happen. That's the important part.
Right.
Kaguya, listen, you can say what you want about Kaguya. I really don't care. Kaguya is poorly. She is not foreshadowed properly, and she comes out of it. She was clearly not planned for quite a while in the manga. And Madara, for how cool of a character he is, sending him off like out of nowhere like that was kind of disappointing. I still think they handled his character well, actually, but it's just you need to build up something like that more, and they just didn't.
Right. Because like I've done analyses on Madara's character, and dissecting the reasons as to why the way that he died was there was a lot of narrative significance to it, right? Like, you know, the whole he can't like trust anybody with his back, and he gets like cocky, and then he gets his back taken. Like, there's a whole narrative and a motif about him and his back and being backstabbed, right? But like, it is, although there is like reasoning for it, if it's not executed well, obviously people aren't gonna like it. Like, enjoyability is gonna come before narrative 10 times out of 10, right? Because like, it doesn't matter how many things you layer on top of it. If people don't enjoy it, they're just not gonna enjoy it, right? And then Kaguya obviously famously wasn't foreshadowed that much. There was some, I do believe that there was some, but a lot of it is like retroactive, right?
Yeah.
So
it's like the only like concrete foreshadowing is pretty late in the war, and everything else, like you said, it's like, you know, the moon being created by Hagoromo, we knew that, but that doesn't foreshadow Kaguya. We didn't know the moon was made to seal away Kaguya when that was mentioned.
now, as it relates to the Boruto take, what do you think about that?
I think as someone who enjoys the Boruto manga, Naruto could have ended at chapter 700. I think that would have been a very satisfying conclusion to the series. I think everything was tied up pretty damn well there.
Right.
But I think Boruto's doing a good job in the manga currently of continuing the story. And I have no issues with it. I very much enjoy it. So I could take it or leave it in terms of like, is it needed? But I do think Boruto's quality in the current manga.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to completely disagree. I think Boruto's completely terrible. It violates all the themes of Naruto. Introduces aliens. I don't want aliens in my ninja manga. Mind you, Kap'nKat likes Black Clover, and he's saying all.
Yo,
chill. Don't be doing that. I got cred. I got street cred that I gotta save. Like, you can't be doing that, man. Yeah, sorry for all the Black Clover fans that watch my videos, but like, Black Clover is kind of okay. This next one says the cycle of hate and violence was never broken, and it's plain to see in Boruto, so Naruto, the show, never fulfilled its message about breaking cycles like war, vengeance, and both of these things leaving kids without parents. The worst offenders are Naruto and Sasuke themselves. Both suffered by being orphaned, and then Sasuke all but abandoned Sarada. She didn't even recognize his face, and being Hokage fell high than his kids on Naruto's list of priorities, even on his Boruto's birthday.
I don't agree with this at all. I don't like I understand what he's saying, but I don't think because there are still aspects of these cycles of hatred and there are still some like cycles of negative things within the world, the main point of the story was not like conveyed and gotten across. Because it's not realistic storytelling to have it be that like magically Naruto manages to make it so like all suffering and negative cycles in the world are just completely gone. Like a lot of generational cycles are still broken throughout the story of Naruto, and there's still like a lot of progress made, which is really the main point.
Right. And the thing about this is that when people hear the cycle of hatred, like they forget that the biggest part of the cycle of hatred, or the most significant part, is the cycle part. Like, just because these conflicts and these negative things exist, that doesn't mean that they're part of a cycle. In specifically with this take, it would only make sense if Sarada and Boruto had like permanent resentment towards that and then perpetuated that, right? Which we know isn't the case, because Boruto doesn't resent his father for not having as much time with him. Like, that was like something within the first 7 chapters of the story, but they were able to work it out. And Boruto has been a star child, and Naruto has worked on whatever he wanted. But even Sarada doesn't hate her dad, even though of all the stuff that he's done. So like, there is no cycle there. It's just, you know, just regular family drama.
Yeah, and also I want people to think about in terms of like the like larger change in the world that was made in like a lot of these prior generations, you know, because of the Great Wars, there was a lot of like child soldiers and death of them within the world, and all of this. That doesn't happen since the end of Shippuden.
Right.
You know, there hasn't been great ninja wars. The conflict has been external to like, you know, the actual villages themselves.
Yeah, and even something that I hate is when people say, oh, well, there are still child soldiers in Boruto, and like, no, they're not. And I've always like made like an analogy with like, in this day and age, we have things such as HEMA, sword fighting, marksmanship, and whatnot. When these things were originally practices done for wartime, like all of these things were done for the purpose of going out and killing people for the sake of war, resources, money, and whatnot. However, people still practice these traditions today. However, it's not for the sake of war. It's more like tradition, right? So the kids are still gonna practice their ninjutsu, they're still gonna go on missions, but they're not going on missions to go kill the leader of some gang, some ninja clan, whatever. Like, they're doing like escort missions, retrieval missions, you know, field trips. I'm pretty sure like the arc with Ao, that was like it was just like a field trip. Like, they just went.
It's like what Team 7 was doing before they went to the Land of the Waves, right?
Yeah.
Before they were forced to go on that, like, you know, mission, they were doing like random like odd jobs and chores.
Right.
You know, they were still Genin that were children at the start of like the Naruto manga, but they weren't in one of the Shinobi World Wars. They weren't sent out to fight for the village like that. In Boruto, the fighting done by the kids is they just get wrapped up into it. Yeah. It's not like they're being sent off to fight these people. And in like Two Blue Vortex, at this point, Boruto's not with the village. Kawaki is, I'm pretty sure, technically a grown man, actually, but, you know, he's also like the strongest dude in the village, and then Sarada is like one of the strongest people in the village, so they just like, them fighting just makes sense.
Right. And like, and at the end of the day, like, it's their home, and like, you also got to realize they have superpowers, right? Like, they are going to fight. They have superpowers. There's nothing you can do to tell these kids with superpowers that, especially when their home is being attacked, to not go fight. And like, we know that it's not something that's encouraged, because I think it's one of the recent chapters of Boruto where Sai is like extremely nervous and like worried for his son Inojin, but Inojin, he's pushing to fight because he wants to protect his homeland. So like, it's not like they're being forced to fight, but they're superpowered people with powers. Obviously, they're gonna engage in combat. But like, I think we've rambled on this point for too long. This next one says that Deidara is the only Akatsuki who deserved a redemption.
But what was there to redeem? Like, bro, Deidara doesn't even have like a tragic backstory. Like, his tragic backstory is I got smoked by another member of the Akatsuki, and I think blowing stuff up is cool and is artistic. There's nothing to redeem.
When I saw this, I was stun locked because Deidara's all Deidara wants to do is domestic terrorism. That's all he wants to
literally.
That he wants nothing better in the world than to blow people up.
Wait, hold up. This username, a caged bird? Bro, this must be Deidara's alt. Hold up. He's making a clay bird to write this.
There had to be some. Is this like a psyop?
It's probably a troll. This can't be serious.
Bro, this is like it's straight from Tel Aviv. This is straight Israeli propaganda, man. The Great Ninja War should have been in Boruto rather than the main series. What?
No. Yeah, okay. If there was a Great Ninja War in Boruto, like a new one had started, then I would agree Boruto ruined some of the things like set up in the main series.
Right.
If war continued in Boruto, that would suck. Yeah, this would be horrible. And then you can't use any of the plot points and flashbacks of the war in the main series, and this would be terrible. This would break everything.
Like, they would just, well, like, what would even happen in the last 200 chapters of Naruto? Like, genuinely,
this would literally just destroy everything.
Because like all of the plot points, the loose ends get tied up during the course of the countdown to the end of the series. Like, genuinely, what happens? And then you just slap that into Boruto. Which is like, okay.
You would have to just rewrite the entire story.
Like, this is just perplexing. Okay, the general consensus is that Minato is the super skilled first Hokage level prodigy of the first 4 Kage, but in reality, Tobirama is essentially just a better Minato. Tobirama has more IQ feats with his quick battle decision skills and jutsu creation, has better feats in the war in general due to Minato underperforming mentally, and overall does a better job at being the genius speedster that everyone was hoping Minato was. Minato's hype and his actual showings couldn't be further apart.
Yeah, this is pretty terrible. I mean, like, Tobirama being a better Minato is hilarious. When, like, Tobirama, every jutsu he made other than, like, the tandem explosive tag, somebody else has used a million times better than he was ever able to. Like, dude, Flying Raijin, in the manga, Tobirama never even flying Raijins to a kunai until he sees Minato do it. He doesn't flying Raijin to a kunai until late war. That is how terrible Tobirama is.
You wanna know how bad Tobirama is at flying Raijin? Bro was in the middle of the first Great Ninja War. He had no sweat marks, no nothing, no signs of exhaustion, and for some reason he decided to not flying Raijin his entire squad back home for some reason.
Yeah, he couldn't lead away, Ginkyun squad and then flying Raijin back to the Leaf Village or just somewhere else to a seal he left, even though we know he has seals in Konoha. Like,
he just,
come on, bro.
He just decided not to do that, which is why, like, I stand on the opinion that he was never supposed to have flying Raijin. I think that, like, Kishimoto realized that he made a character so sucky that he needed to give him this moniker of, oh, I'm the creator guy. I make these jutsus. I'm actually the progenitor of these jutsus. And all these people are using my... It's like, come on, man. You know you didn't plan for him to have that.
He's a Senju with no wood style, all right? Like, the whole thing that makes Hashirama like a sick character, Tobirama has no access to it. He doesn't have a single jutsu of that, bruh. And then it's like, Hashirama, I've unironically heard people say it's supposed to be like Madara, Hashirama, and Tobirama are all like on a similar level, which is just ridiculous because first of all, Hashirama's stronger than Madara, but then also
right.
This dude Hashirama is so powerful that just getting a little bit of him inside of you makes you stronger and gives you healing powers and gives you all these abilities. Like, everyone needs Hashirama inside of him, pause. But like, Tobirama just can't do anything. and I love how he says during the war, Tobirama outperformed Minato, but then admitted it was due to Minato like underperforming mentally. Maybe he wasn't implying this, this, but it seems like to me he's admitting Minato was like kind of dazed during a lot of the war.
Yeah, like using his mentally nerfed feats, I don't really think that's like a good like gotcha. Well, like even then, like we seen Minato do stuff like teleporting in between Guy and like Madara's TSOs, catching the TSOs and teleporting them back to the Leaf Village before they can get like pass through his body. Like Tobirama.
I mean, but by the way, bro, Minato getting to the battlefield before the other Hokage.
Right.
You can say for like some of the other ones, they maybe weren't going full speed, but Tobirama just outright says Minato has better body flicker than him, and Minato does use body flicker in combat. And that's all I'm gonna say.
And even with that, it's not even like he came like a couple seconds before them. He came, teleported away the Ten Tails Bijou bomb. That shit detonated, and then
he had a convo. Yeah,
he had an entire convo like before they pull up. He did like hella shit before they arrive. So like he's like really faster than them. But like, hey, the Tobirama fans, you know, that's the only thing they have. You know what I'm saying? It's
actually been proven. Every Tobirama fan, every single one, is an ice officer. That's all I'm gonna say.
Bro, and the way they defend him, it's not really too far off.
The way Tobirama was calling Sasuke like red eyes or something, like if they had established an in-universe slur for Uchiha, Tobirama would have been dropping that left and right.
And like, and when they talk about IQ feats, this man Tobirama was so like obtuse that he didn't even know that he was inconspicuously segregating the Uchiha. Not Tobirama, Orochimaru like was telling him, was like, hey, you know that you pushed him to this, right? You pushed him to the edge of the village, and this is the reason why all of these things happen. And he's like, huh? What do you mean? And Hashirama is telling him like, hey, I told you not to like blindside him. It's like, what are you talking about? I gave them positions that they were qualified for. It was like, he's either evil and did that shit on purpose, or he's a dumbass.
I would say you're giving him too much credit by saying he didn't know what he was doing. He knew what he was doing, bro. He got told what he was doing, and he was like, what? I had no idea. What are you talking about?
Okay. Wow. This one says that Sasuke should have married Hinata. They both have the burden of expectation set on them at a young age. They both have valuable dojutsu, and it makes more sense for her to catch Sasuke training or studying than Naruto. Her reluctance to speak with him would make sense with so many of the other girls obsessed with him already. They'll look good together too. Huh?
I'm gonna be so real. I don't agree with this, but I have very little to say about this, because I think Sasuke ending up with Sakura might actually be worse than him ending up with Hinata.
No, it's not.
I don't really agree with this, but like, I don't think the romance we got for Sasuke in the series was any good anyways. So I mean,
no, okay, I'm gonna have to give you a seminar on the Sakura and Sasuke romantic dynamics. I just made that word up, but this is
right. I read the manga with Shin in it, and literally Sasuke does not speak to Sakura in that manga. He says like 2 sentences to her.
I'm just gonna ignore this Ku Klux Klan member. This just doesn't make any sense. I guess they would both have valuable dojutsu. What need does a Uchiha Byakugan? What need do they have for that? What? Because like, I guess they get better vision. They can see farther. They can see through walls. Like, imagine you're an Uchiha child and you're like, okay, right, I'm gonna get my Sharingan. And they say, oh, yeah. And then you realize you got a Byakugan instead of 2 Sharingan. Like, like, imagine. And then when you get your Mangekyo Sharingan, you only have 1 Mangekyo Sharingan, so you only get 1 ability. I'd be so pissed. Genuinely.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be pretty bad. But I mean, it's not like Sasuke had to convincing romance dynamic with anyone but Naruto. So
I'm not. He had. I will. I partly agree. Stop saying stuff that makes me partly agree. I do agree that the best dynamic he has is with Naruto. However, he and Sakura, they're alright. But like the part about makes more sense for her to catch Sasuke training or studying than Naruto. Studying, I guess, but like training, Naruto trains daily. Naruto has a training regimen. As a matter of fact, Naruto has the exact same training regimen as One Punch Man. So technically Naruto is stronger than Saitama. So he's like causality breaking, you know what I'm saying? Multi-galaxy, causality relate punching, immeasurable speed, W Naruto upscale.
I'm just letting you get all the cap out real quick. I'm just letting you say all this.
You know, you're in with it. You are an accomplice to this. If I go down, you're going down with me. Okay. Jiraiya is the best character in Naruto. Nope. I don't need to list. We don't need to check anything more on this. Jiraiya is alright, but the best character in Naruto, everything he does have extreme significance to the overall plot. Him asking Naruto to get naked so he can train him. I don't see this.
I was about to say, anyone who's like a massive Jiraiya fan, listen, we may need to look into, you know, if they really like people their own age. That's all I'm gonna say.
Look, I like Jiraiya, right? As like excluding all the questionable stuff that he's done, but like the best character in Naruto, come on, man, you got Naruto right there. He's the best. Before Bubbles can comment on anything about what I just said, let's move on. Might Guy should have killed Madara and then died. Naruto Jesus saving home ruined his sacrifice. Naruto Jesus saving him the sacrifice. I think that's what he meant. No,
killing Madara like that would have been the worst thing ever, bruh. Like, are you kidding me? Like, bro, Guy putting up a fight was enough. Like, Guy already had a sick scene there. You don't need him to kill off Madara. Then, like, well, how does the story progress from there? What?
Mind you, Madara was like toying around with, like,
yeah.
He wasn't using Limbo. He wasn't using his Susanoo. He was just standing there getting hit. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, in the panel where Guy hits him with the Might Die, he just stands there. Like, he stands there, watches Guy like load up his like charge, watches him run at him, and instead of getting out of the way, he puts his like staff up with both arms. He's like, let me just take the attack. Like,
yeah, I just don't even understand, like, not even aside from just like is it feasible power wise, I don't understand why he thinks this is a good decision for the story.
I mean, how do you,
this doesn't make sense.
Okay, where do you move on from there though? Like,
exactly, yeah. I do kind of dislike Naruto save. I don't like want Guy to die or anything. Like, I don't think that's like him dying is important for the story. But when you make the 8th gate the gate of death and go out of your way to make such a big deal that the price of it is your life, it does feel a little cheap that the one time we see it used, it's reversed. And the only thing is that, you know, you're, what would it be, a paraplegic now? Like, I don't know, bro.
Yeah, it was kind of cheap. I personally didn't really care because, like, I don't really care for a Guy. If a Guy lives or dies, I don't care. So I guess he's a cripple now. Good for him. Next one is Naruto versus Sasuke 2 is good but underwhelming compared to the 10 years of hype. Relatively uninspired choreography compared to all their abilities like Sage Mode, Sasuke Sword, etc. And the choreography was biased and made Naruto look pretty pathetic compared to Sasuke. Manga version was even worse. Great, but did not live up to my expectations.
So, bro, I'm not gonna lie. The whole time that this was like, this take was being read, I was like, okay, I agree, because everyone, when they talk about Naruto versus Sasuke in the Final Valley, talk about the anime. The manga version is fine, but it's not a fraction as well done as the anime version. So when I was hearing this, it's like, okay. But then at the end, he said manga version was even worse. So this whole time, I guess he was talking about the anime version. Calling the anime version of that fight uninspired choreography is fucking crazy.
Yeah. I do kind of agree that it wasn't as creative or like you can see that they played a lot safer with this than with the original fight. I think the original fight, I guess it's like growing pains. That was a terrible analogy. Well, like it's the same thing as like when a series is like that new, you have like fresh people going in trying to do something, is trying to figure out like, well, okay, what's the style of choreography and combat, you're gonna go for it. So like when you watch the first fight, it's a lot more, I wouldn't say fluid, but it's a lot more creative than the last fight, which is why I personally have the first fight above the second fight. But I can understand feeling like it didn't live up to the hype, because the first part is just a bunch of hands, which is cool, but then like it didn't explore the large range of abilities like they said in the comment. But then like uninspired choreography is crazy though. Kakashi was a bum and did not deserve any of the praise he got. He peaked in the war at the age of 12 and just embarrassed himself for the rest of his life. If Kakashi was as exceptional as the constant glazing would have you believe, he'd easily be above Sannin level like Itachi and his own father. Kakashi supposedly graduated from the academy at the age of 5 and became a Chunin at 6. Itachi was 7 when he graduated and didn't become a Chunin until the age of 10. On top of just having very few feats, he was a terrible teacher, especially to Naruto and Sakura. Guy was always way more impressive, and the only thing Kakashi had going for him was that he was hot. How do you feel about this?
I'm very confused by this take. Like, I don't understand. Like, I feel like he just said like he's a bum and doesn't deserve any of this, and then went on to describe a timeline for Shinobi that's very impressive.
I mean, I guess he said
like, I don't really get it.
I'm guessing. I mean, he did say he peaked in the war at the age of 12, right? So
that's just like I'm not even getting on that because that's just actually just false. I don't know what he means. Kakashi later in the story is just above 12-year-old Kakashi. It doesn't make any sense to say.
Because like
like
I'm pretty sure there is this like panel where Tsunade's talking to Kakashi, and then she's asking him like, okay, how did you get taken out like that? And he was like, oh, you got taken out by Itachi and Kisame. And she's like, I didn't even expect you to get taken out by those thugs. Like Anbu Kakashi was like such a monster that he thought that Itachi and Kisame were just like mere thugs to him. So like it's clear that he lived up to his potential. I think it was hella strong, but I guess he got rusty like in the early parts of Naruto. But like when you get into the pain arc and then Fuyakage Summit into the war arc, he's pretty cracked. Like he was going crazy against Obito.
I also don't get them saying he's a horrible teacher. Like he explained the basics of chakra control and like other basic things to Team 7 in part 1, which he needed to do because they had just started as shinobi. Naruto took a long time to get some of it because Naruto just was really bad at the basics back then. Sakura got it immediately, and then he trained Sasuke one-on-one because Naruto went off with Jiraiya and Sakura wasn't in the Chunin exams anymore. And then whenever he trained Naruto again with like Rasen Shuriken training, it was very effective training. Like, I don't know how he's a poor teacher.
I mean, I guess it's because he didn't dote on them like Guy. But even then, what did Guy really do for Neji and Tenten though? Like
yeah, bruh.
He was just like favoring Lee because Lee looks like him with his bushy ass brows. But I think this is just hella unfair to Kakashi. And like, I'm not really the biggest Kakashi fan, but like, this just seems like hate. It seems like some deep-seated hate. It seems like he or she or they had a girl or boy or they that was a bit too into Kakashi, you know, had a Kakashi body pillow, you know what I'm saying? He kind of...
What are we talking about? we're losing the narrative here.
I'm just saying, bro, there had to be some history with Kakashi for this to be, like, for this level of vitriol. But,
listen, man, Cap, all I'm going to say is that a hungry man thinks of bread, all right?
A hungry man thinks... Okay, no, the last and final one to round this all off, Itachi did not use Tsukuyomi on Sasuke during their final fight, with a side of Sasuke was carried by through Shippuden by plot. How do you feel about this?
I mean, I don't even really want to grace this one with too much of a response because this is a clear troll. I mean, if you read the manga, you know that this is just wrong.
But like, can you really prove that he used Tsukuyomi though?
Yeah, mainly the part where Itachi said that he broke my Tsukuyomi, and the data book says that he broke Tsukuyomi.
I mean, can you prove that Itachi is a reliable source, or the data book is a reliable source?
So I want everyone sub to Cap to unsubscribe and all post to me after watching this.
Okay, y'all. Okay, y'all. That's pretty much it for the video. Everyone go sub to Bubbles. He's pretty goated. Makes amazing JJK content. Makes okay Naruto content. You know, I'm obviously better.
Oh, okay.
But like, yeah. So make sure sub to the channel. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye, B.